Welcome back, dear students. Today we will start with the chapter Surface Chemistry. Surface chemistry is a phenomenon we are going to exclusively learn in detail regarding the physical part. It is one of the physical chemistry part. So as name itself suggests, surface chemistry is the process or chemistry, surface in the sense superficial, surface over the very upper layer of anything, or we can consider this is also a surface. Chemistry in the sense chemical reactions will be taking part. On the surface, whatever the chemical reactions or the changes taking part, we will be studying about them in detail in the chapter Surface Chemistry. Fine. So when you consider surface, or it is also referred as interface, when a particular medium like gas, liquid or solid liquid, I have mentioned here, we will be having one solid phase and we will be having the other gas phase. In between there is a exact one mark which separates solid phase from that of the gas phase, that referred as solid gas interface or solid surface, solid gas surface also we can say. So surface or the interface is nothing but a superficial phenomenon, or surface phenomenon, which will be taking place, surface or superficial phenomenon taking place with respect to change in chemical reactions, with respect to change in chemical reactions, change in chemical reactions. So for example, as itself I am writing here with a marker, and all the writings which are visible on board are only on the surface of the board. They will be not moving in depth of the board. That phenomenon what I am writing here, that also can be considered as one of the surface phenomenon. Okay. So now we understand solid and gas phases or interface also we can say. So when you consider any solid, we will be having gaseous phase, above which here in between these two in the sense one solid phase we have, okay. Below we will be having a gas phase, okay. In between one line which exactly separates the solid phase from that of the gas phase is going to be referred as interface. We will be calling this phenomenon, this line which separates a solid phase from that of the gas phase is referred as interface. Okay, this is the solid gas interface also we can say. Similarly, we would be having liquid gas interface also. So here whenever you consider liquid phase, okay, so liquid phase is going to be separated by gas phase. Here we will be having liquid, above which we will be having gas phase, and these gas phase and liquid phases are going to be separated by this line or this condition that itself is going to be referred as interface for gas and liquid. But the thing is, when you consider gas particularly, they become exactly homogeneous mixtures. So we do not consider gas interface for our study purpose. Only liquid interface from that of the gas interface we will be learning, as well gas phase as well as liquid phase interface we will be learning. So this is all about the interface. Interface is nothing but exactly, just now I can consider here that whatever the ink I put in this marker is liquid in nature, and while writing it will be showing a liquid nature itself, but the board on which I am writing, it is said to be solid. And that separation, that whatever the board is there, on board I have written these writings, between them there is a change, that is liquid phase is separated by this solid phase. Getting that itself is called as interface or just a surface. Similarly, we will consider next part, that is adsorption. Adsorption is again a simple terminology or the term where we can define that there will be a accumulation of molecules on the surface. As I can consider the same example that I am writing with the help of marker, and this ink molecules which are present in a marker are accumulating on the surface of the board. I can take example that accumulation of molecules of ink are adhering or they are sticking to the surface of the board. That process itself is going to be referred as adsorption process. So I could define here that accumulation of molecules on the surface of adsorbent, on the surface of adsorbent. Adsorbent is nothing but it is board. Adsorbate also we can consider, that is ink. Accumulation of adsorbate molecules also we can write here. See, just listen to me. Accumulation of adsorbate molecules. Accumulation of adsorbate molecules on the surface of adsorbent is known as process of adsorption. Is known as adsorption process. Is known as adsorption. So this is the simple terminology which we can define for adsorption process. When an involvement of adsorbate molecule and in presence of adsorbent, this is adsorbent, B-E-N-T. Okay. This process is going to be referred as adsorption process. I have mentioned here adsorbate. Adsorbate is a molecule which get adsorbed. I could tell here that it's a molecule which get adsorbed on the surface of adsorbent. Which get adsorbed is referred as adsorbate. When you consider adsorbent is a molecule or is a surface which allows adsorption to take place. This molecule, or we can simply say it's a surface on which adsorption process takes place. It's a surface on which adsorption process takes place. See, for example, if we consider surface of the board we can say it as adsorbate, on which adsorbent will come and adhere. So adsorbate is a, I could tell here that is a surface on which adsorption process takes place. Adsorbate, it's a molecule, or we can consider molecule of ink which will come and adhere on the surface of the board. So this is all about the brief introduction for the part surface chemistry. Surface in the sense almost all the reactions will be taking place superficial or the first layer of any medium you consider. Solid, if you consider, we will considering reaction will be taking place on the solid surface. Board will be the surface we can consider, and it will be considered as example for adsorbent also. Adsorbent surface is referred as surface on which it provides place, or it provides surface on which adsorption process takes place. Whereas if you consider adsorbate, it's a molecule, or we can consider it's a kind of an atom which will be directly going to adsorb. It will be get adsorbed on the surface of adsorbent. So this is all about surface phenomenon. If you consider chalk piece, I could give you one example also. If you consider chalk piece, whenever you fallen with the ink or any colored particle, colored liquid ಯಾವುದೋ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಥವಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿದ್ದಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಸಣ್ಣವರಿದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಇದನ್ನು. ಚಾಕ್ ಪೀಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡೆ ಆ ಇಂಕ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಥರ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, chalk piece is going to adsorb that ink. But when you cut open that chalk piece, what happens? You would have seen that one. When you cut open the chalk piece, inside the core of that chalk piece will not be mixed with the color. ಕಲರಿಂಗ್ ಏನಿರ್ತೈತಲ್ಲ ಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತೈತಿ ಇಂಕ್ ಹೋಗಿರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನೀವು ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, you will be having ink only on the surface of the board. If you just cut open this board, inside the board we can't see any ink has been passed over. So that process we can consider as adsorption process. Please copy this. We'll move to next. Okay dear students, now let us understand regarding difference between absorption and adsorption. Absorption in our daily life we might have come across with various examples, and we have to correlate absorption with respect to adsorption. When you consider particularly absorption, I could give you a simple example. Whenever you consider a bucket, in our daily life we will be having certain examples. Let us consider them. In a bucket you will be having water, and in that water directly you are going to dip off your shirts. Okay, whenever you dip off the shirts, what happens, that shirt completely absorbs the water. Each and every point of that shirt what we have dipped into the water will be accumulated by almost all 100% water molecule. That process is called as absorption. Similarly, you can consider any of the water molecule being added with the salt or sugar. What happens, it completely dissolves. That means that particles which we added will be absorbing completely 100% of the water, and they will be remain with that of the water as if water itself. Getting? So we have main differences between the absorption and adsorption. So if you consider distinguish between the absorption and adsorption, let me I have written here adsorption process, and this is going to be referred as absorption process. Let us see one by one what are the main differences we have to learn. So here, when you consider adsorption, the concentration is more on the surface, as adsorption process I have told you is a surface process or the surface phenomenon, and he will be having concentration of accumulated molecules, adsorbates more on the surface. But if you consider then that of the adsorption, concentration is uniform on the surface and in bulk of the water. As I told you, example of the bucket with the water, if you dip the shirt in that one, concentration of the water will be throughout, or it is uniform on a dipped cloth there. Okay, but here it will be on the particularly surface. I could draw you here example of let me consider second difference, then I will show you how does that a diagram represents the adsorption process and the absorption process. If you consider adsorption, as I told you, it's a surface phenomenon. Concentration of any accumulated molecules will be maximum at the surface. Okay, they will be not deep into the particularly what any molecule or the any substance we have taken. I give you one example. When you consider sponge you might have seen, okay, in Carlon beds and all, sponges will be there. Okay, if you dip that sponge into the water, it will be get completely wet, and it will become way full than the before. ಅದೇನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ನೀರೊಳಗೆ ನೀವು ಸ್ಪಾಂಜನ್ನು ಡಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಪೂರ್ತಿ ನೀರನ್ನು ಹಿಂಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತೆ ಅದು ಏನು ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ವೇಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಇಟ್, ಆಲ್ ವಾಟರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡ್ರೈನ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್. ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್? ದಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ absorption. Okay, that means uniform distribution of water molecule will be taking place each and every corner of the sponge. Here that absorption process will be considered as bulk phenomenon. Bulk in the sense the water molecule goes into the core of the sponge also. And here I have two examples here. Okay, for the adsorption process I could consider silica gel, and for absorption process I could consider anhydrous calcium chloride. So see here, silica gel, you might have seen that you will be purchasing one new bag. In that new bag, small white colored bags with a small particles of like tablets, small tablets will be added, and they will be kept there. Getting? So why does that happen? Why does that process will be done in the new bags or anything we have purchased newly is because to create the vacuum. What does mean that one? When you consider added of these particles or silica gels in the newly purchased bag is because they are going to absorb the moisture which is present inside that atmosphere. ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಯಿಶ್ಚರ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಸಿಲಿಕಾ ಜೆಲ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹೊಸ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರ, ಮೂಲೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರ, ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಆ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾವು, ವಾಟರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ರಂದ್ರೆ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ದೆಮ್. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಟೈನ್ ವಿತ್ ದೆಮ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ that process ಅಥವಾ absorption process ಅನ್ನು ಯಾವ್ದು ಮಾಡ್ತಿತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡನ್ ಬೈ ಸಿಲಿಕಾ ಜೆಲ್. So see here, I can draw here this circle. This circle indicates that it is adsorbent on which these molecules, adsorbate molecules, will come and adhere. They will not go deep inside the core of adsorbent. So these are molecules which are present only on the surface. And this phenomenon is an example for adsorption. Okay, and adsorption will be taken place with the help of silica gel. But see here, anhydrous calcium chloride. Anhydrous calcium chloride ಈಗ ಮೊದಲಿನ ಕಾಲದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ, ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಪೇಂಟ್ ಬಂದವು. ಮೊದಲಿನ ಕಾಲದೊಳಗೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಹಚ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಸುಣ್ಣ ಹಚ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಿಳಿದು ಸುಣ್ಣ ಹಚ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಸುಣ್ಣ ಹಚ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಅದು ಸುಣ್ಣದ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಪೆಂಟಿಗದ ಸಿಗ್ತಿದ್ವು, ಅವನು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕೆಬ್ಬಣ ಪುಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, ನೀರು ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ರು. ನೀರು ಹಾಕಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟಾಗಿ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಕತೆ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅದು ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಕತೆ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಮಿಕ್ಸಪ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಶೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಎಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್. ಎಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಡಿನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ adsorbent molecule on which adsorbates will come and adhere. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ವಾಟರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಟ್ ಪಾಸಸ್. And this process shows bulk phenomenon in the sense uniform distribution of adsorbate molecules inside the core of the adsorbent. So this is example we can consider for absorption, it is anhydrous calcium chloride. When you consider example for adsorption process, it is silica gel. Please do take these two differences and let us move to next. Now let us understand regarding the surface area. Surface area, how does it correlates or how it is in relationship with the adsorption process. I could consider some of the example here. See, you will be having a big rock present. Okay, ದೊಡ್ಡದು ಏನೈತಿ, ಬಂಡೆಗಲ್ ಐತಿ. ಈ ಬಂಡೆಗಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬಿಗ್ ರಾಕ್ ಇಂಟು ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್, ಸಿ ಈ ಥರ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್. Okay, so these are going to be represented as y. Similarly, if you consider these second particles which are cut open or ಈ ತರ ಪೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋಂಥ ಕಲ್ಲು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಪೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ, ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪೀಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ಉಸುಗ್ ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ ನೀವು, ಉಸುಗ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. See, for example here, if you consider x will be having a fixed surface area. ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ನೀರು ಹಾಕ್ರಿ, ಅದೇನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಾ, ಹರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ನಾವು ಸಿ, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಕಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ದಿಸ್ into smaller particles, then what happens here, around 10 to 15 pieces are going to be obtained. So those obtained, if you pour the water on this one, what happens, again they will also go. But the thing is, surface area will be more here. ವಾಟರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಷ್ಟ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಾ, ಪಾಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ವಾಟರ್. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕಟ್ ಓಪನ್, ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪಾಸ್ಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಬೈ ದ ವಾಟರ್. ಸೊ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು, ಇಫ್ ಯು communicate or if you talk here, surface area will be more for this y pieces than that of the x one. Similarly, we have smaller pieces also than this. Y pieces ginta smaller pieces adavu like sand particles. Sand particles will be having more surface area than that of the Y. So if you consider this as a Z, if you just pour the water, what happens? Water will be retaining there for some time and then it will passes away. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಹಾಕಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ನೀರು ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಹರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಪಾಸ್ ಅವೇ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ನೀರು ಹಾಕಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ಇರ್ತೈತಿ, ದೆನ್ ಸ್ಲೋ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತದ, ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ದ ವೈ, whereas Z will be having the highest surface area than all the two. So I can write here, smaller the size of the particles, smaller the size of particles, higher will be the surface area particles, then higher will be the surface area. So this is most important, we have to remember. So higher the surface area, what it correlates, higher the surface area, more will be the adsorption process. Adsorption process surface area ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಐತಿ. If surface area is going to be increased, adsorption process will also increases. So these are the 3 examples we can consider here to check out the surface area phenomenon. Please copy this, we'll move to next. Now let us understand next part of the surface phenomenon, that is sorption. Just I give you one example so that we can understand the thing in detail. When you consider a beaker, this is a beaker I have drawn. In this beaker I have put ink, red color ink is present. Red colored ink is present along with the water. Okay. So now I have put one chalk piece also. I have just added one slant chalk piece inside the beaker. What will happen? Slowly these red colored particles will get accumulated on the chalk piece. Try to understand my words clearly. Red colored particles are only accumulated on the surface of the chalk piece along with the water molecule. Water molecule, what it does, water molecule will be moving core of the chalk piece. Chalk piece ಅನ್ನೊಳಗ chalk piece ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ನೀವು ವಾಟರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಡಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ವಾಟರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಕೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ chalk piece. Here I have water along with the ink. ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಇಂಕ್ ಅಂತೂ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತೈತಿ, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಏನಿರ್ತೈತಿ, ವಾಟರ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಚಾಕ್ ಪೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಆ ಇಂಕ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಡಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೆಡ್ ಕಲರ್ ಏನೈತಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ ದ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಕ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಚಾಕ್ ಪೀಸ್. ಬಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಮೂವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಚಾಕ್ ಪೀಸ್. ಇಂಕ್ ಏನಿರ್ತೈತಿ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಉಳಿದಿರ್ತೈತಿ. ವಾಟರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ chalk piece also they will be moving, and that process in which adsorption and absorption is taking place simultaneously. ಏನಾಗತೈತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ವಾಟರ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಆಗತೈತಿ, ಇಂಕ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಆಗತೈತಿ. ಇಂಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಡೀಪ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ chalk piece ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಡೀಪ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ chalk piece it is moving. Water is absorbing and ink is adsorbing. See here, red color, but what I have shown here, red colored is nothing but it is ink particles. Ink particles accumulated on chalk piece. Ink particles accumulated on chalk piece. Similarly, you can consider the water which is present in a beaker is moving inside the core of the chalk piece. Moving inside core of chalk piece. So here red colored ink, what I have taken here, it is adsorbing. Red color ink, the process is happening is adsorption. Okay, whereas water is going to be absorbing. Water is going to be absorbed by the chalk piece. So when, I could write here, when process of adsorption and absorption are taking place simultaneously, that process is referred as sorption. What we call it as? We call it as sorption process. In sorption process, both absorption and adsorption will be taking place simultaneously. Example I have shown here. Ink bottle or ink beaker is added by the chalk. Red colored ink are going to be accumulated on chalk piece and water is going to be absorbed by the chalk. So the process tells us that adsorption and absorption will be taking place simultaneously, and that phenomenon we can call it as sorption. Okay, here I have quoted some of the good adsorbents. Say for example, I have silica gel, alumina gel, clay, metal, powdered metal we can consider, and colloids. Lastly we have charcoal. These all are said to be good adsorbents. Adsorbents will provide surface to accumulate adsorbate molecules. So altogether it is said to be surface phenomena, that is adsorption. Absorption is bulk phenomena. Here we have a kind of phenomenon or kind of case in which adsorption and absorption are taking place simultaneously, and that process we can call it as sorption. Take this, we'll move to next. So you can consider here, dear students, regarding adsorption process. So when you consider a closed container, let me tell it as a closed container. Closed container is filled with a charcoal. We all know charcoal is a good adsorbent. We have quoted some of the examples. If you consider those examples, charcoal was also one of them, which are good adsorbent in nature. So this closed container is filled with a charcoal along with certain gases. Say for example, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, oxygen, ammonia gas, sulfur dioxide gas, all these gases are filled here along with the charcoal. For the time instance, if you keep it for the particularly time to be for about 1 hour or 2 hour, if you keep it, then what happens? This pressure of these gases is going to be decreased. When you would have filled it very first stage or the first instance, the pressure of these gases will be very high. As time passes, what happens? These gas particles are going to be adsorbed on a charcoal molecule or charcoal adsorbent, and we can conclude that there is a process adsorption has taken place because of decrease in pressure of these gases. Initially, for the first instance, we will be having the higher pressure when we just pushed or when we just filled with the gases, and time passes, what happens? This charcoal is going to adsorb certain gas particles, due to which pressure of all these gases is going to be decreased, and we can say adsorption process has taken place. And similarly, as I've taken this example, I tell you, I could write here that as time passes, okay, pressure of gases will be decreased. Pressure of gases will be decreased, which indicates adsorption is taken place. We can consider some of the other example also. Methylene blue, which is blue in color before we add the animal charcoal. When we just add this animal charcoal to the methylene blue, it will turn into colorless. It will be turning to colorless. Likewise, we have some raw sugar solution which is brownish in color. When we add up charcoal for this also, it will become a colorless mixture. See, silica gel, I told you, silica gel are nothing but these are the small particles which are placed in a pouches, and those pouches will be kept in a new bags, so that whatever the air which is present, moisture which is present inside the bag is going to be absorbed by silica gel. And silica gel generally is used for drying purposes, drying of the air. Okay, so this is all about adsorption examples for phenomenon, how does they have been happened. Now we understand regarding mechanism of adsorption. So how does mechanism follows? Very first, let me consider a chemical environment. Chemical environment presence is most important. Okay, so see here I have taken a container with two molecules. This is first molecule, this is second molecule, and it is being filled with any solvent. It may be water or something else. Let us consider water only. Here in this container I will be having water as a solvent. So when you consider water, and we have one more other two particles also present, or molecules also present, this molecule which is present exactly center of the solvent will be having a direction, that is force of attraction will be from all the directions. This molecule possessing force of attraction from all the direction. But see here, one of the particle which is also present on the surface, it has only two environment here. One environment is downward pull and the other environment is outwards pull. Outwards pull environment is done, or it is being seen by air which is present, atmosphere which is present. Here downward pull is mainly due to water molecule. And see, whenever this molecule which is present on the surface, downward pull of water attraction is more, and outwards pull of air from the air is less. So definitely here, as there are two particles are present, both the particles will be showing different phenomenon, and particle or the molecule which is present at the center will be having force of attraction from all the direction. But this surface which is present, this molecule will be outwardly pulled by the air which is present in the atmosphere, and it is downward pulled by water molecule. So I could write here downward pull of downward pull of attraction of downward pull of attraction of water is more on the molecule present on the surface, is more on the molecule present on the surface. Okay, so why does these two important points I have told you? There will be a adsorption process. For the adsorption process, we will be having certain molecules are going to be involved, and those molecules with the same kind of force of attraction and with a different kind of force of attraction acting surrounding to them will be showing different extent of adsorption process. So adsorption process which was carried out by this molecule is entirely different from that of the adsorption process carried out by this centrally placed molecule. So this is nothing but we have understood regarding chemical environment for adsorption process. And similarly, I could also consider the other condition or other criteria for the mechanism of adsorption is the surface area. We have discussed some of the points regarding the surface area, yet let me tell you one more point, that is surface area I'm sorry, it is area. Surface area, if you consider, I told you there will be a presence of a big particle. It will be having a fixed value of surface area. When you cut open into two particles or two pieces, what will happen? Here the surface area is fixed, and if you cut open this one, in the middle also we will be getting certain points or certain particles get present. I could write this as C, like this. I can show this is the surface area. Okay, initially the surface area was so much. Now the surface area is doubled here. These all middle place also we can consider for adsorption process. So smaller the particles, higher will be the surface area. Bigger the particles, smaller will be the surface area. Smaller particles, bigger surface area, more will be the adsorption process. Smaller particles, more the surface area, and more will be the adsorption process. So this is again we can consider second criteria for adsorption process. We have seen two conditions or two criteria for the mechanism of adsorption process. One is chemical environment and the other is surface area. We also have some of the processes like whether adsorption process is going to lose amount of energy or it is going to gain the amount of energy, that also we have to see. In terms of enthalpy and entropy, why does those changes takes place and all we have to understand. Please copy this, we will do that one. So dear students, when in relationship of entropy and enthalpy value, if we compare for the adsorption process, we have to see these two criteria. First one adsorbate molecule is coming onto the surface. This I have shown you here. It is the surface on which adsorption process is going to take place. We can consider it as adsorbent. Surface is always adsorbent. It will provide a surface or the place for the accumulation of adsorbate molecules to carry out the adsorption process. Here these solid molecules which are coming onto the surface, they are trying to adhere to the surface of any adsorbent. What will happen? During adsorption, there must be a kind of force of attraction must operate there. When there is a force of attraction is present between adsorbent and adsorbate molecule, definitely bond formation is going to take place. When bond formation is going to take place here means adsorption process has completed. Once adsorption process is completed with a solid molecule on the surface, definitely energy is going to be released. For the adsorption process, if it takes, the amount of energy is going to be released. So here we can consider this as exothermic in nature. Adsorption is exothermic in nature, wherein enthalpy value we will be getting in negative. Similarly, see, entropy we can consider. I have mentioned here the same, that is as delta H is negative, energy is released, energy is going to be liberated off. So we will be calling it as exothermic reaction. Here with respect to entropy also for the same, we will be getting here free gaseous molecules which are wandering in the environment, they will be going to adhere to the surface. This is going to be considered as a surface here. To this surface, again adhering of gas particles is going to take place, again due to certain force of attraction. Some of the amount of energy is going to be released. We are taking here gas particles, we will be talking in terms of entropy. Entropy also becomes negative because of losing the energy during adsorption process. Entropy will also be considered as exothermic in nature during adsorption process. And as these two are negative here. Gibbs free energy, if you consider delta G, is going to be spontaneous. The delta G gives free energy or the adsorption process to be retained as a spontaneous. We must have to have these values negative. I will let you know those things regarding the Gibbs free energy in detail. First we do complete this one, we'll move to next part.